nice to have you. Welcome. So if you see that link, it's called Learning Material Bebop Licks. It should show up in the comments. So if you click on that link in the comments, you'll see lick 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I recommend you actually, let's do it one by one. So you can just download lick 1 for now. And just open that. Yes, so let's start with this first lick. This is a lick that I have talked about in one of my recent YouTube videos actually. But today we will go a bit more in depth and see how we can embellish that lick and more chords on which it works. So let's start with this beautiful lick that you see on the first PDF called lick 1. And this is your lick. Great lick for to improvise on Gypsy Jazz and to give you that bebop sound. Let's see on what chords it can be used. First, let's learn it. Lick 1 on the PDF. The key I've chosen is the key of D, or is actually other keys as well, but it fits over a D major chord. It says there on the top of the PDF over D major, B minor 7, and E 7th. So, right. It starts from fret 9 on the first string, then you go up a string and play fret 10, then on the same string fret 7, then up a string 7 again, then 6 on that same string, then 7 on string 4, then 4 on the same string, 5 on the string above, 4 and 7. One more time, 9, then up a string, then 7, then 7, which by the way here I like to do that sort of flick with my finger because I've got two notes on the same fret but on different strings, so it's handy to do that. And from that 7 on string 3 we slide down to 6, then 7, 4, 5 on the string above, then 4 and 7. I hope you guys got that. Now let's see over which chords it can be used. You can see on the top there over D major, which means of course a plain D major or a D major 7th or a D 6-9 as we play it in Gypsy Jazz. So whenever we have a major chord, we can play it. Whenever you learn a new lick, what I recommend is that you try to spot the chord shape within the lick immediately, so that it becomes easy for you to transpose on different keys. For example, I know my D note is here. It's on string 3, fret 7, is my D note. And I know the lick starts after 2 frets on the first string from that note. So whenever I want to change that lick and move it to a different key, say now I want to play it in G major, for example, over a G major chord, then I'm gonna go, because I memorized that chord shape or that shape, you know, on my fretboard, then all I'm gonna have to do is look for a G note now on the 3rd string, which I've got on fret 12 of course, and then I also memorize that my lick starts after 2 frets on the 1st string. That's how I can move it quickly. Another very quick example, we choose the key of C. I just demonstrated on all of me, for example. You know, I know on string 3 my C note is here on fret 5 of string 3. So that's the lick I'm going to be able to use on C major. By the way, if you've got any questions in mind, feel free to ask now in the chat box. But going back to our lick, let's go to the original key where I wrote that down, which is starting from fret 9, and we said it fits over a D major chord, right? So whenever we are playing a chord, song in D, over your D major chord, that lick is gonna fit. Say Coquette is a very good example. Coquette is always a good example because it's a simple song, but it's got enough chord changes and key changes to be able to demonstrate lots of musical situations. As we know, the song starts in D, so it's a very sweet sound. It's nothing special really. This lick is just a major 7 arpeggio in reverse with the addition of the 6. But it's one of those licks that can make us sound a bit more sophisticated sometimes. You know, in Gypsy Jazz it's easy to sound, after a while, to play always the same things over the same chords. So, you know, we all play this... we want to find something else, and this is a very easy way to do so. And I love borrowing ideas from the bebop vocabulary, because they allow me exactly to do that, to sound a bit different, and it doesn't have to be complicated. We'll see with the next licks as well. They don't really sound complicated. It's just where you play them, on what beat, what the note choice, and so on, but they're not really crazy hard to play. So again, another really cool thing about this lick is you can play it on other chord types as well, not only on D major. You see there on the PDF it says B minor 7 as well. And why is that? Because if your B minor 7 is here, see how that lick actually starts from the major 9th, or from the 9th, yeah, of that minor 7th chord. So again, over minor 7th chords, you can play that. One more chord that it works on is, of course, E7th. Okay, E7th being here. I'm playing X7, 6, 7, 7. I'm actually playing an E9th, but as you guys know, in Gypsy Jazz this happens all the time. You can see that. So great news, it works on an E7th as well. So as we know, B minor 7th and E7th are a 2-5 in the key of A, which means, good news, over a 2-5 I can play this lick. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Over the 2 and the 5, the same lick goes. So in A, it's a great lick. So if we go back to Coquette, let's do a quick recap of what we talked about. See if it makes sense. This lick goes on D major. Yeah. Then we also said it can go on a 2-5 because it works on a minor 7th chord as well as on a dominant chord. But in Coquette, the 2-5 is in the key of D. So it's an E minor 7th and A 7th, which means if I take this shape for E 7th, then my lick will start here on fret 9, sorry, on the 9th, which is fret 14th. And this lick is going to work on the 2-5 of Coquette, E minor, A7, or here. To play it over the 2-5, I'm going to have to start that lick from fret 14. So from D. Let me show you on the backing track one more time. Of Of course, when I improvise, I wouldn't play the same lick over and over again, but this is just to give you an idea and to practice that lick in different chords. For example, now on the B section of Coquette, we have a 2-5 in the key of G, which is where we can play that lick again, right? Because we said it works on a minor 7th chord, on a 2-5, A minor 7, B 7th. It starts on the 9th of the minor 7th chord. So it starts on fret 7 this time, for the 2-5 in the key of G. So I'm going to play Coquette from the top, and then I'll call out the chords as they happen, and you'll see where the lick moves. So D major, then 2-5-1 in D. 2-5. Now 2-5 in the key of G. I hope that makes sense. Of course, if you got any questions, please let me know in the comments. So having said that, let's move on to the second lick. It is a pretty complicated lick, not as easy as the previous one actually, and it's a lick by Wes Montgomery. This is also something I have published a few weeks ago in a YouTube lesson, but again here we look at the lick more in depth. So this is your lick. And it works over 2-5-1 in D, E minor 7th, A 7th, and D major. So let's see how this is played. It's quite tricky because it skips a string. So it starts on the 9th of E minor, which is fret 7, string 2. Really cool though. So it works. Not the best singer, but I hope you got the idea. So fret 7, 4, fret 4 on string 3. In the PDFs I also included the picking direction. So 7 on string 2, 4 on string 3, then skip a string, which is quite tricky, but is a good exercise for your right hand technique anyway. Then you go back down the same way, and here we're actually using the super local scale that we're going to take a look at later on in depth. On the first string we play 5, 6, 5, then 8, 7, 6 on string 2. So 5, 6, 5 on string 1, 8, 7, 6 on string 2. Then upper string 6 and upper string 8. This is a cool altered sound over the A7th. So let's just look at those two bars one more time, just to get used to them. They're not the easiest. So string 2, fret 7, then upper string, fret 4, then skip a string and we go to string 5 and play 7, fret 7. Remember, this is based on an E minor 7th chord. Then first string 5, 6, 5. So 5, 6, 5. Then now on string 1. Then we move up to string 2 and play 8, 7, 6. Then upper string on string 3, 6, fret 6. Then upper string, fret 8. And that's the first two bars of the lick. From bar 3, go very bluesy sound. So 5 on string 2, 7 on string 3. Then you're gonna see a small slide written down before that next fret 7, excuse me, which is that bluesy. From fret 6 we do a quick slide, and then down to string 1 with fret 5. Then back up on string 2 and play 5, 6, 5. Feel free to play that as a hammer on and pull off. Then up a string 7, up a string 5, up a string 7, down a string 4, 7. There's a lot going on there, but of course take your time. This PDF will be with you after today's masterclass anyway, so let's try on Coquette again, why not? I'll slow it down a bit so you guys can hear it clearly. Let's see, let's try this. Okay, ready? Here. So this is a great one. Once you internalize it, takes a while, but once you internalize it, is a great one to give you a different sound over this music. For those of you who play this music since many years, like me, it can get a bit boring, as it is always the same licks, you know, it's the same sounds. So it's great to, always good to borrow from other styles of music and see what works over this particular style of music, which is gypsy swing, gypsy jazz. And bebop is really one of those areas where we can really borrow a lot of ideas. So this was lick 2. If you got any questions about this, please let me know. It can get quite tricky. This lick is based on A7 and D minor. So any song that goes A7, D minor. And this is the lick. D minor. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So how is it played? I'm thinking again A7 D minor. So 8. I'm starting from string 2, and this lick starts on the 1 of the A7th bar. So it's 8, and 6, 5 on string 2. If I had to sing it to you, go ba 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 ba. It's all 8th notes, which is good. So ba 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 ba. So from string 2, 8, 6, 5, then up a string 7, 6. Then this is cool actually. We move up 2 strings and go on fret 7 on string 5. And to do that, because then I'm gonna carry on with the lick which happens in a different position actually. To be able to do that, I'm gonna have to shift my whole hand and move it onto a different box. This is what's gonna help you to work out that lick. So 8, 6, 5 on string 1. Then up a string 7, 6. Then we move our whole hand up 2 frets, and my next note is going to be an E note on string 5 on fret 7. Then after that fret 10, then down a string, fret 8, then back a fret 7, 7, 10, down a string, 8, 7. So one more time from the top. String 2, 8, 6, 5. Up a string, 7, 6. Then up 2 strings, fret 7 and 10 on the same string. Then down a string, 8, 7. And then up a string again, 7, 10, 7, 8. 7, 10, 7, 8. So whilst you read the lick, why don't I show you a cool place where we can play it? Perhaps on a song with A7 and D minor is All of Me, perhaps. You know, All of Me has got 2 bars of C major, 2 bars of E7, and then 2 bars of A7 and 2 bars of D minor, which is what we want. As you notice from the PDF, this lick is on 1 bar of A7 and 1 bar of D minor, so we're going to have to wait for the first bar of A7 because we've got 2 of them. So just to show you, we've got 2 bars in C, so C major for 2 bars, E7 for 2 bars, A7 for a bar, and then we start the lick. There. Let's see. E7, A7. This, in fact, is as bebop as it gets because it is a Charlie Parker lick. Of course, Charlie Parker would play it super fast. I can't play very fast, but we can play it at slow tempos and it sounds very nice as well. C major, 2 bars. A7. So again, this is a very bebop-y lick that we can use to make us sound a bit different. And again, I hope you enjoyed this one. Now let's move on to the last lick, and this is it. I wrote it on the same key, just to make it easier for you. Again, very bebop. Again on A7th, and this both works, the exact same lick works both if you're going to a minor chord or to a major chord. So A7th to D minor, A7th to D works both ways. And the lick is quite simple. It's based on a super Locrian scale. And it starts on string 1 with 8, 6, 5. Then up a string, 8, 6. So one more time from the top. From the first string, 8, 6, 5. Then up a string, 8, 6. Then up a string, 6, 5. From the top. 8, 6, 5 on string 1. 8, 6 on string 2. Up a string, 6, 5. Then up a string, 8. And 7. I use this all the time. Let's see how it sounds. and so on. Anyway, so I got a bit carried away. Don't leave just yet, because I have a very special thing to talk about, which is I really like to invite you to, there is a course that I'm running, and I'd like you, if you enjoyed today, I'd like you to come and try this course for absolutely free, with no obligation on your side. It's a course that I'm running, of course, on Gypsy Jazz guitar, and it's live lessons on a different category of Gypsy Jazz guitar playing every week. And I designed it this way, that we worked on a different category of guitar playing every week, because I think it's important to keep all the areas of guitar playing in balance. Sometimes we just tend to focus on scales and we forget to learn songs. Sometimes we just learn songs and we forget to study music theory and so on. So I designed this course, which is, again, live lessons with me, with Gypsy Jazz guitar. The lessons are, of course, online, but they're all live, so we can interact. And also, they are not on Facebook Live, they are on Zoom, so I can see you and I can ask you to share, and it's great, actually. And the 8 categories that we go through every week are a right hand technique, rhythm, chords, scales and arpeggios, licks. We learn jazz standards. We learn a new jazz standard every time. We transcribe solos by Django Reinhardt and by the best, the most famous and best guitar players such as Birali Lagrange, Stockel Rosenberg, Adrien Mognard, and so on and so on. And music theory. So it's these 8 categories. Every week we do a live lesson on this category, and you get a PDF with actions and learning resources with all the lessons written down. And after we go through these 8 categories, we keep rotating and we go back to the first category again, of course with a different lesson, not with the same lesson again. And there's a very great community going on there. There's a very great team. People are really enjoying it, and I'd like you to join us for a couple of weeks for free. Thank you very much, and I shall see you guys next time. Have a great evening or day, depending where you are in the world, and I will catch you next time. Take care, all the best.